I am creating a backyard workspace over here. This is my auntie's place, and actually she's renting it. But regardless, I was like, you know what? I need a backyard workspace. How am I going to be the modern primitive without any kind of outdoorsy area where I can ground? If that's even real, I'm not certain. Don't take my word for it. How can I do all of that stuff? Well, this was the idea. First, I wanted to do it outside of where I live. Won't work. It's like tarmac and shit. Second, was going to be in the woods in England. That's illegal. Or without permission, it's illegal. Technically, you know, and that's a long process. But lo and behold, I realized, wait a second, just on my way home from work, is this place. And basically, the way I'm going to turn it, what I'm going to turn it into, is where you're seeing me cut grass right now, cut all of this weeds, all of these weeds and stuff. This is going to be vegetable beds. And down there is going to be an entire pull-up station, a station for archery, knife throwing, knife practice, a boxing bag, perhaps, stuff like that. So that's essentially what I'm working on right now. And I thought, why not bring you guys along with me for the ride? And you can see a complete amateur that's never had absolutely any gardening experience before at all go to town in this backyard. I've got to say, I have absolutely no clue what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what the tools are used for. I mean, I have a vague idea by the way they're shaped and where the cutting parts are, but I have absolutely no clue what the hell I'm doing. And so it just kind of is a random guessing game. You know, what tool cuts what big trunk or not. And then afterwards, where do I even dig, right? Because I want to get all the weeds out. I don't need to flatten this entire area out. I'm not looking for it to be absolutely perfect. I need it to be functional. Right, that area over there, just down there, it's got to be the workout space. For example, this area over here, behind me, where you've seen me do some work, that area needs to be the vegetable patch. Over here, you can't see it. Let me show you guys. This area over here basically needs to become a beautiful flower bed of some kind. Don't mind me. And so these two areas where I want the vegetable patch and where I want the flower bed to go, those ones I realize should look nice, should be squared off or should be cordoned off, and those are the ones where I'm going to cover with any weed covers and stuff like that, so that I can make sure that nothing grows there. And then I'm going to obviously section out all of the different the pathways and everything like that. Now, I don't know if you can tell, there is a little pathway there. Oh, you can definitely tell. There's a little pathway over there where I'm going to clean up, and then obviously this entire area over here, flower bed, as I said. But down there, I don't know if you can see it. Let it focus. There we go. Down there is an absolute mess. Now that technically isn't part of our garden, but if we get permission to use that, then right now what I'm going to do is clean up this entire garden over here, and then later down there clean that up as well after I'm done with all of this, because that'll give us so much more room to play with. And with all of that room to play with down there, it means we can properly create a primal workout space, right? Where we can pull up, where maybe I can create a little dip station, stuff like that, where I'm working with functional, weird materials, where I'm going to be doing my animal flow, where I'm going to be shooting my bows and arrows, where I'm going to be throwing my knives, where I'm going to be doing the knife work and all of this stuff. All of that is going to take some time. This video only is for all of this. All I am doing is brute forcing everything I can get my hands on. And I mean everything. Bunch of snail shells here. I don't know much about snails, but these ones seem pretty empty. No delicacies. Who the hell knows? Maybe there are some snails in there that we could feast on tonight. Haha. I've done what I can for today, or at least what I want to do for today. Realistically, there's still more sun. I can still do more work. I don't want to. I've done what I can for today, and this is what it looks like currently. I've basically taken out all of that the weeds there. There's still obviously a bunch, but tomorrow I'm thinking with the shovel, taking it about 2 inches deep. I'm bringing the bin bags tomorrow. So all of this right here, which is for the bin, that's getting taken in and getting thrown away. And then this right here underneath me, as you can see, I've pulled out everything here as well. That's going to be taken 2 inches deep. And then that area there is going to become a flower bed. This area here, up until where about the end of this bin bag is going to also be a flower bed. And then that right there, vegetable patches, workout area, sort of. See you tomorrow. Day 2, and I've basically just spent the entire time just cleaning out this area over here and kind of trimming all of the grass here so that later I can actually incise into it, or perhaps just build a path on top of it. I really don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know how to do that, and this would all probably take half the time that it's taken if I did know what I was doing. But regardless, I think I'm putting out weeds that I just don't need to pull out at this point anymore. It looks way cleaner than it did yesterday at the very least. So now, today is just a cleaning day. So all I'm gonna do is set the cam up and show you guys the before, which is like this, that trash pile over there, and that entire trash pile over there. And then hopefully the after will look much better. Also, once I move that big ass glass frame over in the front so that I can throw it away later, and then cut up a little bit more of the side bits and hedges so that it looks a little bit neater for the installation process. Hopefully next Monday, which is in 6 days. Today's Tuesday, so next Monday, installation process. Yes. Alright, I think you've seen me pick up leaves enough. I'm gonna get this done, show you the finished product, and then head home. So I'm tired, man. I'm tired as hell. Toiling in the fields, hard work. Farmers are to be admired. Woo! I'm here about a week later because I have everything that I need. But first, let me show you exactly what I did when I cleaned it all. This is what it looks like now. So there's obviously, forget about the bubble wrap, but all of this obviously full of vines. Clean that area, clean this area up, and all of that there created like 15 green bags, I want to say. As you can see, piled them all up there. The timbers came, which is awesome. Timbers right over there. I got my chest and managed to fit everything that I need in there. So if we want to check it out, in here we have a bunch of stuff that's going to be out of here or thrown away. In this bag we have some of my archery kit stuff that needs to be sorted out. Got rope flow over there, 2 fairly weighted kettlebells, a 12 kg and a 16 kg for the heavier and the lighter weights. Like I said, I'm getting into that, so it's all quite light work. A mace over here for the Indian mace swings, great for your shoulders, great for your joints, great for mobility. Some Cali sticks over there because I'm getting into knife work. I'm getting into learning how to use knives in London. It's an absolute necessity. Learning how to deal with knives. See, I haven't actually learned absolutely anything, but I have this cool piece of plastic right here, which is surprisingly sturdy. I didn't think this plastic would be this sturdy, but it's pretty well weighted from what I know. I mean, I don't know anything about tools or weapons or whatever, but this one is pretty nice. And I'm thinking right around there, I'm gonna set up a Thai punching bag, because I already do Muay Thai. Or I haven't done it in a while, but I already do Muay Thai. And I don't want to lose the skills. And then over there, a straw dummy, fitting in with the Primal theme, fitting in with the wood and the straw and all this stuff for knife work and knife throwing. and maybe even some archery alongside that as well. But in the place, I'm gonna fill up the burlap sacks with that for the archery. I've got my knives down there for my throwing knives. Oh, these big ass wood screws made for the weather conditions. This will be in London. It's very rainy, so obviously there needs to be some kind of protection. And I'm just gonna move all of this around and start setting up the actual holes in the ground. Decided to move the box over here, which is on the side of the garden. Before I was thinking of putting it over there, but the terrain is a bit too weird there. Having it next to the shed isn't really plausible. There's two raised bits off the ground over here. It's not comfortable. Having it over there was comfortable, except it blocks the way for grabbing the tools for everything. Right now, maybe I'll move it later, but for now, that needs to kind of stay more open. And so I decided a good place would be around here. Leaving the box there is perfect. And all I need to do, because it's a bit wonky, is add another piece of wood. I've added one already. Add another piece of wood so that it stops creaking and stops moving around, which is quite awesome because it means that the axe that I got can be used for something. I should probably tie this around. And to be fair, this piece not so much, but when you put it together with this one right underneath, it does its job quite well. I actually just realized I have no way of measuring 50cm holes. I don't know how long this thing is. I might try to figure out how long this thing is based off my Amazon listing and then figure out how big those holes are. Because if this is about 50cm, which it looks like it is, right, 30cm I guess should be around here. So this is maybe 45 centimeters. So this and a little bit in both holes that I've already pre-dug should get me where I want to go. So let's start digging. Yeah, this tool is just to get it started. Way too flimsy for the ground. Luckily I have an actual shovel over there. It's just to get me started. But I don't think I chose a great area. It's right next door to those vines, which means there's a bunch of roots underground that I'm gonna have to dig up. This is 47 centimeters, this is 80 centimeters. I'm using basically the difference between both. I'm gonna dig with this, use it to measure that 50, right, a little bit over, and then I'm gonna dig about half more of this length. That's about 60 centimeters. Now my timbers are 2.4 meters, so 240 centimeters, which means that'll leave me about a meter 80. So I might just actually do this. I'm just gonna use 50 centimeters. I've heard 50 centimeters is plenty. So I'm gonna use 50 centimeters. I'm gonna use this and a little bit extra to put my timbers in. And that should be good enough. That should be good enough. Alright, dug up the holes. They're roughly 50 centimeters or one shovel deep. Now, timber time. Okay, so now the plan is the big timbers, they're about 10 centimeters wide. they're gonna go in the hole. They're gonna go in the holes, but I actually don't have a way to make sure that they are straight, except my water bottle. Look at this. Basically, I'm gonna look at the meniscus line. Now, if you don't know what the meniscus is, it's just the line when you're looking at it directly on. I'm gonna look at the meniscus line while lining the timbers, and then I'm gonna start putting the dirt in so that they can hold it. 1, 2, fix them up. Both timbers done today, and I'm done for today. Tomorrow, we'll carry on. Hopefully, finish the actual structure tomorrow. Shouldn't take long. Well, I thought this wouldn't take long. I thought I could finish the structure today. Alas, I'll do that one tomorrow. See you in a sec. This is roughly the idea that I'm going for. I'm gonna finish this. My battery's gonna run out anytime soon. So I'll just see you guys tomorrow. Peace. I'm hoping today will be the last day in actually having to create this. Today is very simple. It's just gonna be putting that log on top, cutting some of those timbers down to about 50 centimeter pieces so that I can create some supports for the structure, just in case there are some issues. Like right now, England is very windy, and even though I've put them in about 50 centimeters depth, I don't trust that 100%. Having some supports there, especially when I'm doing pull-ups, is it's just necessary. So here's hoping it'll all go smoothly. Let's get to it. Alright, it took me a while to get to grips with how to use this thing, but I have basically understood. How it works. You wouldn't know there were so many settings on this one thing. Apparently I should have, but here we are. And I'm hoping not to die. I probably should have moved it back a little bit more, but this will have to do. Cause I'm too lazy to get down. Shit, I'm gonna have to get down for the viewings. Alright, for you guys. You see, I do absolutely everything for you guys, even though I only have about 7 videos. Everything I tell you. I don't even know if I'm in frame. I think I am. I hope I am. Now I should be. And that's basically what I'm doing. I've done 5 on the other one, 5 on this one. Well, that was the first one on this one, but 5 on this one as well. And then it'll be time to create the support. Hopefully. So yeah, I'm pretty certain now. I mean, it needs supports, but that should be strong enough for pull-ups. Cool. All right. Why does this take? My one question is, why the hell does all of this take at least 2 hours longer than I think it will? I thought I'd be in, done that, out half an hour ago. Alright, let's take care of the supports. We have to do some math here. 50 centimeters. Now, I've lashed one corner, I'm lashing the other, but basically what I do is, I've just gotten a bunch of the rope, and this is more for aesthetic purposes, for me and for Instagram and for YouTube obviously, but as you can see, I've got one of my kunai throwing knives that I will be using hopefully soon, and I'm just trying to they're not made for this, and I'm definitely blunting it, but when you need something, you need something. Okay, I work with what I got. There we go. That's simple. Got a bit more rope left. That's going to be for the lashings up top, so that I can pull up without touching the chemically castrated wood. It's not castrated. What is it? Chemically conditioned? No, that's not it. Whatever it is, it's been chemically treated. It's been chemically treated to make it withstand the rain and other temperatures and other weather conditions. But apparently that's bad for your skin, and obviously I'm trying not to get poisoned. That's half of the reason why I'm doing all of this stuff, so that I can offset the poison I already ingest. That didn't go in. And the food. So, you know, obviously lashing is part of it. But these corner lashes, I've already put bolts in, I've already put nails in or whatever, and these are literally just for aesthetic purposes. It just looks nice, you know. It's worth making your stuff look nice, especially because you're going to be looking at it all day. I mean, beauty is definitely a thing we should all strive for in a sense. And that might sound like the Third Legion if you know Warhammer. I'm not them, but it's definitely just nice. It's nice to have nice stuff to look at, basically. Let's get to it. Now, I'm kind of making it up as I go along, but I did just watch a video on how to lash this stuff together. So even though I am kind of just doing it completely randomly, I am hoping that it'll come out nicely, at the very least. So I'm hoping that I'm really hoping that these knots as they are will stay in place. But luckily rope is actually fairly cheap. I gave myself way much more rope here. There it is. That's that. Now I'm just gonna quickly lash around that edge over here, just around here, so that I can create pull-up grips, because I don't want to always wear gloves. And I figured I'd rather pull up here on this side, and on that side over here I use this bit for archery, because if I do send the arrow flying, at least before I have a carpet or some kind of backstop, if I do send the arrow flying, at least it's somewhere that I will most likely be able to get to it. Down there, brambles and everything, I am not interested in trudging through that. So let's finish up that last bit and maybe also put down the arrow targets, at least one of them. Actually, I just found out this is about all the rope I'm left with, so I don't think I'm gonna have enough for the target, but let's see. Let's just see what we can do here. Welcome back to the misadventures of Mom Chocoto. On this episode, it has been an entire day until the last cut, which means you guys have for the last couple of seconds. Anyway, since then I have got this fucker so that I can cut this fucker down to size, and I also got more rope. Finished up my pull-up section, I'll show you that in just a second. But basically, in between the top timbers and the posts, I needed to figure out a way to stabilize the sides, and that's essentially what we're doing today. I'm making a basic top stabilizer, and then I'm gonna make the rest from and then I'm gonna make the rest for the bottom of the brackets. They're gonna be slightly bigger than the top ones, and I still have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I need to dig slightly and then maybe put them in, or if I can just like put them on the ground. I think I can just plop them on the ground. I'm not entirely certain, but we'll figure that out. First, these. Let's even see if I get it right. I don't know if I will. So, here goes nothing. Explain to me why sawing is so difficult. The level of forearm strength I've had to develop to saw this one little piece off. I mean, it's the same thickness as everything, so it's all going to be like this. But to saw this one little piece off, the level of strength I needed for this shit. No wonder these guys are 20 times stronger than any kind of bodybuilder or anything at the gym. You don't need any of this strength at the gym. None of it's functional. What the hell is the point? Literally, none of the gym strength is functional. What's the point? I've been going since I was 16 years old and I could barely cut this off. I'm beat. I can do 3 of these pull-ups. Do you know how difficult it is to pull up when you don't have a nice comfy bar? That's what gym is. It's comfortable discomfort. You go to the gym, you're comfortable in your discomfort, and then you fuck off. Okay, so let's see. Ow. Let's see where we're at. This is the wood I've just sawn. The first piece of wood I've ever sawn correctly. The other one wasn't correct. And while this side is revolting, because again, it's the first piece of wood I've ever done, this side is actually quite nice. And if I put them together, boom, it kind of does what I need. And so if I just stick a bolt up here and through here, essentially I get what I need. I get the stabilization that I need from this, which again, while not perfect, will have to do. This actually looks even more medieval than I had hoped for, which is awesome. A bit more primal, a bit more medieval. Now, hanging one there, a bit lower, one there, a little bit higher, and that basically secures a pull-up area and my archery shooting area. Then I'm thinking I might create a little shield box square thing there, something a bit sturdier for knife throwing, because I think these are going to work. I think these are going to work for the knife throwing as well, just maybe not as good because they're quite loose, and obviously when you're throwing knives, it's a lot of damage, but it's not as much impact. There's not much speed as you get when you're shooting arrows. So I'm thinking of doing that. For now, let's get these hanging up, and I think that'll be it for today. Hopefully get to working out tomorrow. That actually works quite well. Alright, that seems like it's staying on pretty damn well. And even better, I think I could even potentially use this as boxing practice. Wait. Alright, I think I actually got more than I bargained for. I love it. Alright, check it out. It's done. Now, I played around with it a bit, and one thing that's 100% certain is either I'm going to have to change these bags very regularly, especially if I want to do like 100 shots a day. But the second thing is, maybe instead of these bags I should just put up some natural targets. Foam targets or something like that. Even if the bags rip, maybe I can hang something there that's a bit sturdier, as you might imagine. But the frame is basically done. I just need to create the supports at the bottom. And until then, I now have a place I can shoot arrows. Still can't do that properly. Throw knives at, even though I can't get them in all the time. And for the time being, practice some basic knife skills. Also, of course, I have kettlebells, a pull-up bar, and soon to have some good old-fashioned sandbags. In the meantime, pretend like that didn't happen. In the meantime, let's see how working out in this place is going to be. London is basically entering monsoon season with autumn approaching, and it's basically going to be wet, rainy, and disgusting for the next 3 seasons until summer again, when it's going to be wet and rainy and disgusting. So really there's no change. It's just a matter of training your mind as well. Like I said, the gym is just a comfortable place to train at. Sometimes you should train in uncomfortable places. That would have gone in if it was a real knife. In the meantime, while this has just been done, I basically wanted to say why I did it. I did it, one, obviously because I want to train like this, right? The gym, frankly, is a bit boring for me nowadays. I want to get more proficient in different skills. I already have some Muay Thai. I want to obviously learn some Judo, some Jiu-Jitsu. But tools are the difference between us and animal. You're not going to beat a tiger, although in today's world, when are you ever going to hunt a tiger? Or when are you ever going to go after or be hunted by a tiger? Never. But you're never going to beat something bigger or scarier than you with your own 2 fists, right? I mean, perhaps some jiu-jitsu hold or something against the tiger could work. I know there was a guy in America that killed a cougar like that. But realistically, the difference between that sets us and animals apart is our ability to use the bow and arrow, the spear, the knife. And these are the things I wanted to learn. But the second reason why I did all of this is because I wanted to show you guys that no matter where you're at, if you have a backyard, if you have woodlands near you, if you have a place that nobody frequents, right? I invested a little bit of money into this. Realistically, you could do all of this either again, also on your own dime, or just by going into the woods and collecting raw materials. Not only will you learn interesting and perhaps not very usable skills unless you go camping often, but at the very least having something in your repertoire. I learned how to use the drill, I learned how to use the saw, I learned how to figure out the angles of the support timbers, how to dig holes, and how to properly balance and level some timbers. Now, none of this is perfect. I learned how to tie knots. None of it is perfect, but it's a beginning, it's a start. And whoever you are, you can do this 100%. You just need to find the place and you need to put in the effort. It's the same whether you want to go gym, it's the same whether you want to train in outdoors the way I do, it's the same whether you want to eat healthy. In today's world, it's a little bit more difficult. It requires a little bit more effort on your part and on my part, unlike in the times of our grandparents, where practically everything they ate was homegrown. Now, on the other hand, we have ready-made cakes, McDonald's, eclairs, Coke, and all of this stuff is delicious. And like I said before, that 20%, 80-20 split, 80% eat healthy, 20% do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be unhealthy, but just do whatever you want. Enjoy yourself, regardless, whether you're doing the 80 or the 20. We live in this world, there are substitutes, there is good, there is bad, however you take it. But this stuff, it requires a little bit more effort, but it's right at your fingertips. And it'll make you better as a person. So why not try it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this entire thing or the way I've created it. As you can probably see, these are some of the least sturdy supports I've ever made, because they are the only supports I have ever made. But in the meantime, drop a sub, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion about this. Anyway, peace.